Oregonians may receive a smaller kicker tax refund next year in order to help fight wildfires in the state. Fox News' Joe Vithiathil is here now to tell us about a plan being floated by Governor Kotek. Joe, a lot of people are going to be talking about this one.
Yeah, well, Shauna, for more than 4 decades, the kicker has been something that many Oregon taxpayers look forward to every 2 years. Whenever the state brings in at least 2% more in income tax revenue than expected, that excess money goes back out in the form of tax refund. It's something that state politicians have been very hesitant to touch. Even 4 years ago, when the kicker totaled a record $5.5 billion. All that money went back to taxpayers. But now Governor Kotek says she would be open to using some of next year's kicker to fund firefighting efforts. Monday, the governor spoke with reporters about her budget priorities for the remainder of the state legislative session. And the cost of fighting wildfires is a central concern. Oregon is coming off a record fire season, and the legislature had to approve an extra $200 million in funding during a special session last year. And now the state is projected to face an elevated wildfire risk once again this summer. So now members of the Oregon legislature have advocated, some members, using next year's kicker on a one-time basis to create a fund that would help pay for firefighting efforts going forward. Now, next year's kicker is expected to be about $1.7 billion, and Governor Kotek said she would support using $1 billion of that money for wildfire prevention.
Dedicated funding for suppression of wildfire, fight the fires, and also protect communities to be more ready for fire. We need to find some resources to do that, and I do think this conversation on a one-time basis of supporting rural Oregon by potentially using a portion of the kicker tax break would be a beneficial approach.
Now, the kicker is written into the Oregon state constitution, but there is a potential workaround if state leaders want to use that money. Essentially, there needs to be a 2/3 supermajority in both the House and Senate in order to tap into any kicker money. So what that means is even if all Democrats support the idea of using kicker money, they would still need some Republican votes in both chambers. Now, Republican leadership has historically been protective of keeping the kicker intact, although the governor points out that many of the areas that rely most on state wildfire funding are rural counties that have Republican legislators. So will they support this or not? This morning, we have reached out. We sent an email to the office of House Republican leader Christine Drazen to see if her caucus might support this plan to use some kicker funding for firefighting efforts. We'll let you know if we hear back. And we're also going to want to hear from you. So coming up a little bit later on this morning, we're going to be posting this story on our Facebook page because we want to hear what our viewers think about potentially having a smaller kicker next year to fund those firefighting efforts in Oregon. Kim and Shauna, back to you.
All right, Jeff.